The Fever had a game against Connecticut Sun yesterday. Big takeaway from the game that's been trending, everywhere is Caitlin Clark's coach, Christie Sides. Many believe that Christie is actually ruining Caitlin Clark's career. I don't think she's a good enough fit coach for her. This is a tweet I saw. So let me get this straight. Christie Sides goes in front of the media, tells them a private text message that CC sent her, and then proceeds to play her for 22 minutes in the next game. What the hell? I found that kind of weird, because you never talk about, in general, this with anyone, you never talk about private conversations you have with somebody, especially if it's like something, I wouldn't say this is necessarily sensitive, but it's something that I'm guessing Caitlin Clark will want to keep quiet. I'll play the clip that they're referring to.
Elephant in the room is the Team USA roster. Caitlin's not on it. What was your reaction when you saw that list come out?
Yeah, a little disappointed, of course. She's my player. That's the hardest team in the world to make, right? Like, that is a tough team. She's young. She's going to have so many opportunities in the future.
How did you coach her up through that, or did you talk to her at all through that to make it more of a motivating factor than anything?
Yeah, we talked actually on the bus. She got the call on the bus and she texted me to let me know, and I just tried to keep her spirits. I mean, the thing she said was, "Hey coach, they woke a monster," which I thought was awesome.
She overshared a bit, like she should have just kept it at we spoke on the bus, and she'll be straight. When you have somebody as famous as her, you got to really limit the stuff you say, because they're just looking for any quote to take and run with it. Like, now it got her in this situation, so a lot of people went back and they started digging on Coach Sides' coaching history. So someone said Christie Sides has never been a head coach, and it shows not even at the high school level. It's her entire coaching thing. She started coaching in 2000 and it was at a high school, but she's never been a head coach. She's always been an assistant coach. She also worked for the Chicago Sky 5 years, assistant coach in Northwestern. This year is actually her first time being a head coach, which speaks a lot. It kind of shows, I would say. A lot of people had an issue with her throwing her players under the bus. Christie says the biggest problem defensively tonight, I'm going to start with, you can't at this level coach effort. I felt like we were just asking them to keep playing hard. You can't play in this lead if you have to coach effort.
I'm going to start with how you can at this level coach effort, and I felt like we were just trying to ask them to keep playing hard, play hard. You can't start there. You can't play in this league if that's what you have to coach effort. It's just too hard.
Also, midway through the third, she benched her starters. Christie Sides on the reasoning for benching the starters midway through the third quarter. This is her response to that.
We're down 28, and I wanted to put a group in there that would get out and play some defense. I'm really proud of that group that went out there and cut the lead and played hard. We've got Atlanta coming up, we've got Chicago coming up. Just thinking ahead.
I don't know who media trained Caitlin Clark, but she's good as hell with the media, bro. I got to give it to her. Even in college, I haven't heard her say the wrong answer. Like, every last word she says, it's like you can't flip it some type of way. She's really good with media. So whoever media trained her, or if she's just naturally good, you got to tip your hat. Caitlin Clark's words regarding a defensive effort comment made by Christie Sides in a post-game presser.
In terms of that, yeah, I think it's just you can't coach effort. This is a team you can't come out and be lackadaisical against. They're just that good. They're going to punch you in the mouth, and I don't think we had it from the jump. And obviously that's a little disappointing. But that's something they can't coach. Effort is not something they can coach. They can coach X and O's, but they can't coach that. And I thought we just could have played with a lot better energy. I thought we let little things on the offensive end frustrate us, and we didn't play good defense. It seemed like everything they got was easy. Nothing was challenged, uncontested threes. We were giving up and ones. We put them at the free throw line, and that was the key to the game. You can't foul this team. They lead the league in free throws attempted, I'm pretty sure. And that's exactly what we did. So it's not a recipe to win many games.
She had a bad game. Gonna have games like this. She has to get stronger, for sure. A lot of people talked about this clip too, right here. They're saying she was mocking her. To be real, that's just basketball. They made a lot of think pieces. Obviously, we seen it players, she's being targeted. Caitlin's the head honcho. Everybody knows when you play her, there's gonna be a lot of eyes. Y'all see how teams turn into anytime they play the Lakers? The Nuggets, they turn into the greatest team all the time when they play the Lakers. They don't miss anything. Caitlin's one of those players, and anytime Fever's on the team's roster, players are going to play extra hard. They're going to talk shit. It's just part of it. The attention she brings. So she'll get accustomed to it. But I'm glad she's going through a lot of these roadblocks right now, because it's going to build her up to be a dominant player. Somebody said, Chance, we want Caitlin are starting to ring out here. Clark hasn't played since the middle of the third when she picked up her fourth foul. see shit like that, that's on the road. Opposing team, not even her home crowd. The opposing team is shouting that for her. And then, you know, people want to get on podcasts and hate and be jealous of her. There's no player doing that right now in the WNBA. There's none. That's why I've been saying, you know, people are saying like whatever. The hate some of these people give her is really unnecessary. That's why the USA thing was so sketchy, because you know, there's like a player of her caliber, her star power, bringing a lot of light to women's basketball. So she showed how talented she is, and you guys don't give her the opportunity. You could have put her on that team. So she said there's so much to WNBA than Caitlin Clark. With Caitlin is the face right now, and that's also good. Her comment on Caitlin Clark right now.
I think the WNBA narrative right now is Caitlin Clark, and I think that's a good narrative, but it's also not the only narrative. But that's the narrative we're pushing in the media. Caitlin is an amazing generational talent, and she's going to do amazing things. You're the number one pick. People are going to go after you. Whether it's for the right or wrong reasons, because they see greatness in you. What the WNBA is measuring one type of greatness against the other greatness. Am I saying it's right that she's being pushed in the back? No, that's foul. That has no space in the sport, and we all know that. When I'm watching ESPN and the only highlight you can see is how hard she gets screened, I think it takes away from the actual point of basketball.
The game, right?
I think that's a problem about our narrative right now, that we're not using the wave of women's basketball and women's empowerment that Caitlin brings and really, really amplified in an open eye to support all the women, but to kind of keep that lens still small on the things that matter, but it's not the only thing. You know, if the public eye would have been on Stewie winning 4 championships, no shade, but Caitlin didn't win. If it would have had the same attention, we would have been further, but people like Stewie, we're having interviews saying, hey, why don't you show the NCAA tournament on TV? Like, we didn't even have games on TV. Year by year, we all have to fight together to pave the way for the future generation.
Only problem with her comment is like, I understand where she's coming from, but you can't force people to want to watch something. You can't force fans to want to watch something. No offense to Breonna Stewart. People did not want to watch her. Nobody cared. You know what I'm saying? Like, no offense to her, anybody else. I know what she's trying to say, that like, yeah, there's Caitlin Clark is cool, but like there's more to the lead. But the thing is, nobody cares about the other stuff. You can't force people where to put their attention. It's like music. I like rap, Afro music. I like whatever. I can't force my friends to listen to the music I like. They don't want to listen to it. It doesn't mean it's not good. They just don't want to listen to it. So it's the same thing. Like, nobody respectfully wanted to see Breonna Stewart. Like, fans didn't want to watch her, and it shows. Like, if they wanted to watch her, they would have watched. Like, if people want to do something, they're gonna do it. They're having a hard time accepting people want to see Caitlin Clark. Instead of you guys capitalizing on that, you're hating on her, and it's ruining you guys slowly. It's sabotaging something that could be special. People don't want to see y'all. Like, they just don't. You can't force people to like you guys. You can. If the eyes is on Caitlin, y'all should support that, and, you know, hopefully that leads to people wanting to see what else is going on in WNBA. Not, you know, eyes are on her, so I'm gonna be jealous of her and try to sabotage it. Like, no, that's just gonna hurt you, and that's gonna stop you from flying in charter flights. Like, look, we want Caitlin chant broke out in the opposing team's arena when Clark was taken out at the 5-minute mark in the third quarter. It's now 3 minutes in the fourth. I think out of all the rookies in the WNBA that got drafted, the one that's having the time of her life is hands down Kate Martin. It's not even close. This is the most stress Kate Martin had her whole career so far. You could tell her teammates rock with her.
That's crazy.
She got her first start, Kate Martin, her first career WNBA start. In 32 minutes, she had 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. She has good vets around her. Somebody said for her to say this about Asia after knowing her for less than 2 months speaks volumes about Asia's leadership.
All my teammates have been in the league for a very long time. She brings people together. And she has so much confidence in every single person on our team, and that just builds up our locker room so much. Like, for the best player in the world to tell me to keep shooting it and, stay aggressive, like I feel like on top of the world. So it's just really cool that I have vets like that are going to support me, and, they respect me too. And we have a lot of fun as well, and I don't think it's like that everywhere. And so I feel really grateful to be a part of a team, an organization that, brings up their rookies, and they like to mess with me, but it's fun.
They're not messing with you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's fun, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
And, her journey is crazy. She didn't think she'll get picked up, and she got an opportunity, which was dope. They have a lot of talented pieces on their team. This is what Caitlin said about what she learned about being a professional.
So your career here started 4 weeks ago in this building. What did you learn about yourself in your first month of being a professional?
Yeah, I think like the pro game is obviously really different. So I think it's just been trying to improve from game to game with what we're trying to do, and obviously we're a very young group. I feel like I've gotten a lot better, and some of the defensive schemes that we do completely different than what I did in college. Like that's just a breaking habits kind of thing, and even on offense, a lot of the stuff we do is not always something I saw in college or did in college, whether it's getting blitz on ball screens, whether it's the way you cut and move on the floor, the way we space the floor. Like I just have certain habits that were different than a lot of people on our team. Of 12 games, I think practicing over this last week has certainly helped. But yeah, I mean, I think I've learned that there's a lot of things I've done well. There's a lot of things that I can improve on still, and I think that's what's exciting for myself too.
She's still young. She'll learn, as well as like the Angel Reeses, the Cameron Brink, and the rest of the rookies. People should take it easy on them. Y'all got to give them time to grow, but I think they're all going to turn into really great professionals. But I do think Caitlin does need a new coach for sure. They definitely need to find her a different coach. We'll see what happens. Y'all let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section. And as always, it's your boy.